So my first question to you, and if you are physical together, you can look to one another and ask yourself this question. Who wants to make a difference in his life? Think about this question. Who wants to make a difference in his life? Did you ever thought about this question? I think that all of us say, I want to make a difference in life. And why do we want to make a difference in life? Is it because we are so egoists? We want to show ourselves. We want to be the hero. Of course, it could be a factor, but actually, we want to do a difference because God created us like this. He created us to make a difference. When somebody is opening the door of his flat and it's still dark inside, so the dog is running in. He's going to his corner, sitting down. He doesn't care about is it light or is it dark. He just do what he can do. But man is switching on the light, because when there is light, he can create something, he can cook, he can read, he can write, he can do a lot of things. So he changed the situation. So a man can change the situation. An animal don't do that. So we are created to switch on the light. We are created to make light where there is darkness. We are created to make a difference in life. And this is the purpose of life. And therefore, it's deep in us that we want to make a difference. We are not like cows in a stall eating grass. It could be that you can eat the best grass and you have the best farmer who takes care of you. But a cow is not doing a difference. She's giving milk when the farmer is milking her. But actually, it doesn't make a difference. The cow is just there. And when there is no more food, then it will die. But we make a difference, and we can make a difference. And this is our destiny. This is God's will to make a difference in life. I hope you get that you understand that this is the deepest thing in us that will bring us fulfillment and make us happy when we really can make a difference in life. The question is just this: what kind of difference do you do? Is this a difference for good, or is it a difference for bad? So you see here Dr. Martin Luther King, and he's amazing. I mean, to study him is really, really amazing. Without a mobile phone or social media, he was able to gather a million of people just to listen to his speech. I mean, this is amazing. But he made a difference. He made a difference in the world. And I think every leader in the world knows Dr. Martin Luther King, because he was able to create something, and he was able to make a difference. And this is, I think it's in all of us. And we want to help you now with this course, that you would become able to make a difference in your working place, in your nations, in different nations, and special here now in Africa. I come to the next question that I want to raise. My question is: one born a leader? So that's my question to you. Are you a leader? Is one born a leader and one not? I think that every leader is born. I mean, that's logical, that every leader who is here once was born. But the question is everyone who was born a leader? I don't know what you think about that. Probably you can just let this question go through your mind. What do you think about that? So my personal my personal thinking is, yeah, I think everybody could be a leader, but not everybody is a leader. The leader is the one who is different, who make a difference, who is able to create something, who is able to bring change. And we are all called to do that. And sometimes in our head is a leader is a president of a country, or is a CEO of a big business, or is a pastor of a church. Not all are called position. Leadership is about making a difference in the world, having influence. And so we want to go through that and want to learn from it. Many people want to change the world, but few know how to do it. If you want to change the world, you have to change yourself first, and that is often the most difficult thing in the world to do. I'm now 53 years old. Yeah, I hope you cannot see that, but I am. And yeah, as older I get, I understand this more and more. It's so hard to change yourself. But when we not can change ourselves, then we not really can change something. So we want to focus now on the foundation of leadership. And I think everybody of you would say the biggest leader was Jesus. Jesus is our example. And one of the best explanation what Jesus did, the leadership of Jesus and who Jesus was, is in Philippians 2:5-9. And probably you know this verse because it's very famous. It's very famous. It's the song of Jesus Christ. So here, complete my joy by being of the same mind, having the same love, being in the full account and the same purpose of life. Also what you say in the beginning, so when we want to, being in the same mind, so it's clear in the mind of Jesus. So if we want to be, understand Jesus, then we should be in the same mind, have the same love, doing the same thing, and have the same purpose in life. So now it comes, what does it mean? And look to the next verse. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count other more significant than yourself. Wow, I mean, that's really, really, really a big statement. I hope you get that. Or do nothing from self-ambition. So it's but think about others more than yourself. Probably you know this common view that often is quoted also in the secular world. Is it also from Jesus? You must love your neighbor as yourself. I mean, that is, a lot of people say that, but I think this verse is for followers, but this verse is for leaders. So leaders should do something more. So what does it say? It says, you must love your neighbor as yourself, putting on the same level, you and yourself. But here, what does it say? What Paul said about Jesus, about this mind that Jesus had. So put others higher than yourself. That's great. Did you ever thought about that? This is really hard. This is really hard. So the next one, let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interest of others. Have this mind about yourself. So actually leadership is not about position. It's about serving people. It's not about you. It's about serving people. Going on with this, which in yours is Christ Jesus, who though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God as things to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of a man, and being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on the cross. Therefore, God has highly exalted him and bestowed on him the name that is above every name. That is so great for me. Leadership is not about you. It's about serving people. So probably you know these two guys. So when I now ask, what does it mean to have charisma? I mean, now try to comparing to the verse before. So often people say, yeah, leaders need charisma. You have to be charismatic to spread vision, to influence people, to be a presence of social media, to be loud and speaking, and so on and so on. But my definition, according to the verse that we read before, I heard this definition from John Maxwell about charisma: be able to see others more than yourself. That's charisma. Be able to see others more than yourself. I mean, that's really, really powerful. So charisma is not making a big show, being very loud, saying hallelujah, hallelujah. And so charisma means I am able to see the others more than yourself. And this is hard. This is really, really, really hard to do. So I come now to the principle that I get out of this, the first principle that I get out of it, was have a great mentor, Jesus, have the same attitude, the same love, and the same purpose in life. So if we want to be a great leader, then we have to follow somebody, a great mentor, and this is Jesus. So when you want to really follow him, then you have to understand him, have the same attitude, the same love, and the same purpose in life. Secondly, it's not about me. Leadership can be measured by how much I see others and not myself. This is really hard. It's not about my input, my career, my performance, my time, my money, my profit. It's not about that I win, I'm the first, I'm the best. I want to stay in front, be seen, be heard. My rights, my position, my health. Me. Please, God bless all of us. It's not about me. And do you see how hard this is? Really not to think about that. And I know how it is. You want to make a good performance. You want that God, that other people are blessed of what you are doing and saying, and you want to be the best, the winner, and all of that. But leadership is not about all this stuff. Leadership is about serving others. Be willing to sacrifice your position. Like Jesus Christ, he was willing to give up his position as he was a God. He gave up his position, became man, and died for everybody. And then God put him then on the highest throne. When you know I am born for something higher than just yourself, then life can start. In the D-Day, probably you heard about the D-Day. It's not so common in Africa, but America and Europe knows very well the D-Day, as the American came to Europe. And America, actually, they don't want to help Europe after the Second World War. They said, I mean, Europe, that's your case. When you have war, then look for yourself, but we will not come and help you, and then we are in a war again. So, I mean, that was the opinion of America before the Second World War, and as well in the war itself. But then the D-Day is as the American came and saved Europe. But so how that's really, when we look to the history, it's really cool to see what's happened in this time. With Churchill, the prime minister from England, he was probably not a Christian or not so convinced Christian, but he know exactly that he have to go to Roosevelt in America, the president, and convinced him, because I will say, this is your Christian mandate that you have to come and help Europe. And because of this, he could convince him. He convinced him, and then he went into the White House and really start to share the message. We have to help Europe, because otherwise atheism will win about Europe. It was a Christian mandate to go to Europe to help them. And so the pastors started then to preach that in the churches in America. And then in a few months, the whole meaning in Europe, in America changed, and they wanted to come to Europe. They wanted to help Europe. And the question is still this. I mean, it's a long story, but the question is this: why they are sacrifice their life or be ready to sacrifice their life to save somebody else? It was their purpose in life. They received that from God and say, we want to make a difference. We are ready to die, but we want to make a difference. We are ready to go and save Europe because of your kingdom. We will go. They understood that we are born for something higher than just ourselves. And probably we don't know the names of all the soldiers who went to the war and died in the war, but they are the heroes. They are the leaders. When America would not come to Europe and saved Europe, I don't know what's happened. But I mean, God was in it too. But America saved Europe from atheism. And this is really great. This is leadership. So leadership is actually, summary of leadership is adding value to the people. And I want to tell you a story about my mentor. I understood that I need a mentor. A mentor who really is an example for me. So I found somebody, he's a CEO of a company of 1,000 people. So I went to him and asked him if he can be my mentor, because I was so surprised about all the stories that he shared. So, and he said yes. And in the first meeting, he told me this story, and this really, really shocked me. He was, he made an apprenticeship as a gardener. And then after the apprenticeship, he became the task over construction site or over a garden site. And with other workers who were there, who came mostly from somewhere else, they didn't want to work, they were lazy. And now he was responsible for all these people. And then he started to lead them, but they didn't follow him. They didn't listen to him. And he didn't know what to do. Then once the boss came, and then he came out of the car, and one of the workers of him, he was on the tractor with a big shovel. He have a big shovel there, and he was drunk. And then he was drunk and did a mistake, and the shovel pushed down on the trailer on the trail from the boss, and the trailer break apart. And so the boss was so angry, he came to my mentor, or to the one who has overlooked the construction site, and he said, he said to him, "Hey, this man is fired." And then he stood up and said, "No, this man is not fired. I'm here, the boss of this construction here, and I fire people and not you." And so the boss get very angry, went home. But then he said, but after that, everything changed. from then on, the people listened to him. They were willing to follow him and do the work. And in the end, they did a really great profit of 200,000 Swiss francs because they finished so well with this task. So this is leadership. Why these people followed him? Why he became a leader of these people? Because he was ready to give his life for these people. He was ready to take risk. He stood up in front of the boss and say, no, nobody is fired. Because this is a risk. This is a risk. The boss can also fire him. And so this is real leadership. I hope you understand that. I just want to stop here. And probably you have a feedback for me, what you learned from this, what I said until now. Please, the microphone is open.
Well, thank you very much for sharing. That was very inspirational. That was very great. And I hope the listeners have also gotten something from it, because I know I have. And thank you so much. That was very motivational.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Alinafe, probably there is somebody else who wants to give a feedback. So was this helpful for you? What do you think about that? Or do you think we should see it differently?
I was, can I speak?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I was interested by the definition of charisma that you gave. That's charisma is, yeah, I won't repeat. I don't remember the right way it was written, but just got that it is putting others before. It means valuing others and putting others first. Yeah, I will need to understand that more, but it's already interesting for me. Yeah, because we all know that charisma is about being a good speaker, somebody who can motivate, give stand in front of people, in front of a crowd, and really get the attention of the audience. So, but today, this new definition of charisma is really very far from what we all know about charisma. So we will need to really understand it deeply. Yes.
Thank you.
That's what really attracted my attention. Of course, everything else that you said, the example of this person, this man who was your mentor. Yeah, the way he responded to the boss, risking his job, telling the boss, the owner of all what was there, the one who hired him, by telling him, you are not the one firing people here. I am the one taking the risk. Yeah, so not only, so it is really linking to what you said. It is sacrificing our own life to add value to other people. He was protecting that man, and the effect or the result was that all those people he was struggling with to help them follow what he was giving as instruction. So what he did and said, this man died resisting to the boss, so he really deserves to be followed by us. Yeah.
Thank you, Kocha. Thank you so much. Charisma, I can say it again, it's when you see others more than yourself.
Yes. When you see others more than yourself.
Yeah, when you start to do that, and this means also leadership. So if are you able to see others more than yourself? So that means the quality of a leader can be measured by this statement.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Ikocha.
Yes.
Somebody else wants to give feedback.
I like what you shared about when you want to change something, you need to first change yourself. And you said this is very hard. I can agree with you that that's the challenge of leadership, that we all want to change something. We all want to see the change, but we are not ready. We are not willing to change ourselves. So I'll be thinking about this today. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. So somebody else wants to give feedback to it.
Yeah. I wanted to give a feedback on the question you spoke about. That is one born a leader. You explained that it's not everyone. I mean, you said everyone could be a leader, but it's not anyone who can be a leader. And you say something that a leader is not someone who has just been chosen by people, but he has to have the clear understanding of who is really to be a leader. That a leader has to be, has to save others, not to be saved, but have to save others. Has to be a slave and others be a master to him. So it actually clears our mind, because most of the time when we understand or when we think about this thing about a leadership, we thought like it's someone who is above others. Now in this concept, we see that a leadership or a leader is someone who is ready even to save others, not to be saved, as the way we used to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Lonchezo. Thank you very much. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you, Markus.
Yeah, then I come to the second principle. I mean, that's the first principle. Really, it's not about you. It's not about me. It's about others, or it's about the kingdom. It's about God. And so be ready to adding value to others. So the second principle that I take out of this Philippians 2 is this one. The second principle, it's only about me, or it's only about you. And this is probably a bit confusing in the moment. But see, Jesus went to the cross, and nobody else could go to the cross, only him. When he would not do it, then nobody else can do it. So as a leader, we have to understand it's everything about us. When we not create a change here, then nothing will change. So when you are not doing it, then nobody else doing it. When things will change without you, then they don't need a leader. So a leader is creating change. And when change happens without you, why should they have a leader? So a leader is not blaming others, is taking responsibility. So Jesus didn't say, oh, Markus, you are guilty. I mean, you have to go to the cross. Robert, you have to go to the cross. And this end, you have to go to the cross. Lonchezo. I mean, we are guilty. But our leadership is not about who is guilty or not. We have to understand leadership
Kutenga ma screenshot.
is about responsibility. Leadership is about responsibility and not about who is guilty and who is not. Jesus was responsible for this world. Therefore, he came and took all the blame on himself. And when we want to follow him and take him as an example, as he say, then we have to be ready not to blame others. We have to be ready to take responsibility, to stay there. It's when I say it's not about me, so I give all the honor to the others. But when there are problems, then I take the responsibility and do not blame the others. And this is so a really important principle that we see. It's about us, and we have to change something. We have to take responsibility. Otherwise, nothing will change. And we have to stop to blame other people. So when we see people who blame other people, then we know that they are not leaders. But probably we can look to ourselves and see that we are blaming people. So then we are not leaders. We are not leaders like Jesus was one. So we do a lot of mistakes, of course. And when you see that, then we can change. And of course, I blamed other people. I didn't want to take responsibility. And often with these people that you are the closest together, like your wife, and so then often you don't want to be the bad guy, and you blame your wife. And so it's happened to me all the time. So I don't say that I am a good leader and I want to tell you now how to do it. I know that the problem that we have, not to blame other people, to take the responsibility. So leaders see things and do things different. They see it in their inner eyes. When you not see different than other people, then you are not a leader. So when we just follow the mainstream and we cannot lead, then the mainstream is leading us. So, and therefore, when we want to believe different things that the majority is believing, and we want to see different things, and then we want to do different things, then we first have to learn to understand who is God. This is called a biblical Christian worldview. We have to understand how God created this world, how God created myself, who God is. And we need input. We need new things that we can to start think differently, that we can to start believe things differently. And then in the end, we can also do things differently. And this is what we want to do in this course. We want to give you input, that you start to see things differently and start to believe things differently. And then that you start to act differently. So this is what I can see in Jesus' life, and especially in this scripture. Change only happens when we change something. So we do not wait for change. Jesus didn't wait until the problem of sin will solve it by itself or so. No, he went to the cross, he changed it, and he took all the pain of himself. So a leader is not waiting. He is doing the change, and he's doing it now and not tomorrow. Yeah, they don't wait for change, they created change. They show up by problems. And so what I often see in leaders, and as well myself, when there are problems, then I want to go home. I don't want to be here. I hope nobody see me. But see, a leader is staying up, show up when problems are coming. He's there, like Jesus was there when there was a problem. Everybody blamed him, but he was there. He stand there, and he took the blame on himself. So we have to be ready for that, to really stand up. And in the end, God will lift us up, or will lift them up, the leaders. So we are not looking for our position. It's not about position. And in the secular world, we think our leadership means CEO and president and so on. No, leadership is about serving. And when we are ready to give up our position like Jesus did, then God will lift us up to a new position and to the real leadership. So these are the two principles from Philippians 2:5-9. It's not about me. And the second one is just about me. It's not about me because I give the honor to people. I adding value to people. I am ready to see others first and not myself. But the second one is I really take the responsibility. I stop to blame other people. It's not about who's guilty. It's about who's responsible. And the leader is responsible. A leader is not giving up responsibility. He's not hiding when there are problems. He's ready to carry other people. So that is what I really see is real leadership. Good, thank you so much. And I want to open the microphone again about these two principles from Philippians. Probably you see something in it, or you can add something, or you have a question. Please open now your microphone.
I see a counterculture in the principles that you shared. The culture generally permeating the society in the US pertaining to charisma is actually identified when you turned on the charm and you use the gift of the gab. That is the definition of charisma in the US. But I also see that in the churches, among the leaders in the churches. But from what you taught today, it's apparent that there's a counterculture expected of us as believers if we're going to operate in the gift of leadership. So I'm looking at selflessness, meekness as charisma based on the things that you shared today. Being self-effacing and putting ourselves behind and loving, considering others first with a pure motive or agape love to serve. And I believe that is the proper validation of the gospel. And people will respond to that and changes will come. That's the first thing I'm seeing over there. But I also see that the last statement or thereabout you made, you said it's not about who is guilty, but it's about who is responsible. I think when the gospel is understood that shame has been dealt with at the cross, and it permeates the culture, because I saw that in certain culture when I was on missions, and I see that when people think more about shame, they kind of think about who is guilty and who is responsible. Thank you, sir.
Hey, Dan, that's so powerful. I think really that the point is the cross, to understand what Jesus really did on the cross and took all our shame away. And when we understand, when we understand that, then we'll really make a difference. Thank you very much, Dan. It's powerful. So somebody else?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Vincent.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to actually, first of all, thank you for this wonderful program. I really appreciate. Let me actually go back to that Philippians 2:5-9. I can actually see how wonderful Jesus was. the teaching and the lecture he actually leave for us. The example as a leader. I think seeing the position of the leadership in the church today, I think a lot of us have mixed it. But I want to actually appreciate you for bringing this kind of topic. I so much love it, because I think if we as a person, as if we individual, we able to know where our leaders are, or our fathers have mixed it, so we should able to pick it up, make a change for it. Because I think the Bible said, if the foundation are be destroyed, what can the righteous do? So we have to do something good to make a change for those narratives. And for what Jesus Christ did, for going to the cross and die, take away people's pains, and enable people to to be connected to God Himself. And that is a great job for a leader, and is a great thing for every individual like us to do, to everyone out there, to enable people to understand what love means. So I really appreciate. And
thank you, Vincent.
And also pray for myself, because this is one of my dream. I'll be searching for, I want to see myself going out there, telling people about Christ, and also showing them that love that Christ also shows as an example to us, so that they will know that what we practice or what we read from the Bible, we are here to practice it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
That's really good. So that is what the course is all about. I mean, to learn to see Jesus, to learn to become a leader who really can bring change.
Yeah.
So, but we can make change. Of course, you can make change, but I think it's not sustainable. It's not long term when we not have really the foundation from the creator of this world who tell us what is really real leadership. And this is what we want to learn in this course.
Yeah, like what you actually said, you said, if we want to actually change the world, we should change ourselves first.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, because we change ourselves first to, for people to see. Because the Bible said, "They say by their fruits you shall know them." Because by the time they see how you able to, how you minimize yourself, and how you do things, how you actually help one another, how you carry people along, people actually see. So they see, they testify. So I believe by then you can able to change, even not the world, but you can able to change people around you, So because Jesus have these disciples, and the disciples actually walk with him, and the Bible said after Jesus were gone, they were actually seen as a Christ-like, because they actually walk according to Jesus. Jesus Christ's life affected them, so they were able to change within themselves.
Yes.
So I believe, you actually said, if we want to become a leader, we will also be a followership to another leader, so that we can able to learn. That is one of the reasons I meet Decent in one of our program, and introduced me to this program. I was very, very appreciative, because I also see him as a leader. I see him the way he talks. So I really appreciate it. It's a great thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you very much. Yes. So I want to end the teaching with the next slide. Just to the question, why was Paul so secure and confident? And when we read that in Philippians, then sometimes we think, so Paul was so arrogant. He said, follow me, do what I have done. I am right, the others are wrong. We can read a statement from him from Philippians, what you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice this thing, and the God of peace will be with you. So he often say, hey, follow me, I'm the right one, the others are liars, don't follow them, follow me. And this seems to be a bit arrogant, but I think he wasn't arrogant. I think that why was Paul so secure and confident is it was not about himself. He was ready to die. He was there for others. And therefore he could be so secure and confident. And he had the attitude of Jesus. I think these two factors made him humble. And so in his humbleness, he could say, follow me. And I think everybody of us have to say that. If you are not able to say, follow me, you are not a leader. And follow me means, hey, you can watch me at home, at work, in the church, everywhere. I'm open. You can look to me, how I do it with my wife, with my children. Learn from me. Learn from my principles. Follow me. So I want to challenge you. Ask you this question, and then in the small group, you can ask as well to one another this question. Are you really follow you? Would you follow you? When you would say, no, I would not follow me because when I look to my life, then something is wrong. Then you cannot be a leader. Then you have to change something. You can be a leader, but you have to change something to become a leader. So you need to be able to see with full confidence and security, follow me. You can look to every corner of my life and follow me. Learn from me, from my attitude, from my behavior, from how I deal with my children and my wife and in the church and everywhere. So when you now can say that, then we have to change something. And this is what we want to learn that. I mean, myself, when I look to myself, I not can say with full security, I do everything right. And Paul didn't do everything right in his life, but he was secure because he said, I make a lot of mistakes. Like this and myself, we did a lot of mistakes, but we are not ashamed about that anymore because it's not about me. It's not about me. It's about others. And therefore, therefore Paul could be secure. And I think this is what we want to learn. Not that I am there and you are not. We together, we want to go this journey and want to learn that. So my last statement, it is the leader's greatest return. No, we can leave that. It's okay. I think I stop here. And yeah, probably somebody wants to give a feedback to my last statement that I said, then please do that and open your microphone.
Of my heart and the word of my mouth, they need to go together so that if I sleep, I'm able to say, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Or if I don't have an answer to a situation, I say, I don't have an answer. Give me a moment. I'm going to do this. The second thing is the attitude of Jesus in Paul, and specifically to that Philippians chapter 2. I asked myself the question, Jesus emptied himself. Did he empty himself of sin? No. He didn't make a reputation of the glory that he had. He did not count a robbery to be equal with God. So we're talking about emptying ourselves even of good things and not dwelling on them so much that we walk with this sense of entitlement or position. So integrity as well as emptying myself so that I'm filled with Jesus. And I see others the way Christ wants me to see them. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That's also powerful. That's really good. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So we come to a closer of this lecture, and I would give you now information about